Sir, your reaction lang po on the supposed gentleman's agreement between your predecessor and China. Do you believe that the supposed agreement, gentleman's agreement on the West Philippine Sea, do you believe that the supposed agreement placed our national position at risk in the West Philippine Sea? And if so, should the former president be accountable for that?
Well, it turns out we don't know. It is a secret agreement. We don't know anything about it. There is no documentation. There is no record. There is no. We were not briefed when I came into office. Walang nagsabi sa amin na merong ganung usapan. So we're trying to really up to now, because from the former administration, iba-iba ang sagot eh. Sabi ng isang official na dating government official under the previous administration, there's no such agreement. Sabi naman ng isa, no, there is, and we should honor it. Sabi naman ng iba, maganda yan. Sabi ng iba, hindi maganda yan. Hindi pa namin alam kung ano ba talaga yung agreement na yan. But, kung ang sinasabi sa agreement na yan na kailangan tayong magpermiso sa ibang bansa para gumalaw sa ating sariling teritoryo, ay mahirap siguro sundan yung ganyang klaseng agreement. I am horrified by the idea that we have compromised through a secret agreement the territory, the sovereignty, and the sovereign rights of the Philippines. That is something. We still have to clear it up. We are waiting for Ambassador Wang to come back from Beijing na umalis siya, and I asked to see him. Baka siguro sa pagbalik na. At ipaliwanag niya, sino bang kausap mo? Sino ba talagang kausap mo? Anong pinag-usapan ninyo? Anong pinag-agrihan ninyo? Was this an official thing or was it a personal thing? Ano ba ito? Dahil wala kaming record. Kahit saan ka tumingin, walang record. So sikretong ginawa lahat ito. Bakit nila ginawa? Kung gagawin man nila, ba't pa nila ginawang sikreto? Nakakapagtaka nga eh. Kaya it's not a good situation.
Sir, do you plan to talk to former President Duterte about?
We are talking to his former officials. Maybe not the president himself, but all his former officials. Tinatanong namin, ano ba yan? Ipaliwanag din naman sa amin para alam namin yung ginagawa namin. And we still haven't gotten a straight answer. All right, thank you.
Ano po yung inaasahan nating specific commitments or gains from the trilateral summit po in Washington?
Well, this is essentially an agreement between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines on cooperation in terms of maintaining security and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. And that is the essence of it. But of course, it will contain more details in the sense of how that intercooperation will be implemented. So that is what we are going to discuss now when we go to Washington and speak with Prime Minister Kishida and with President Biden.
Executive Secretary Luke Bersamin, of course, please take your seats. Vice President Sara Duterte, members of the cabinet, yung iba nakaalis na. So you're going to have to hold down the fort in the meantime. Pasay Lone District Representative Antonino Calixto, Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner, Philippine National Police Chief General Romel Marbil, Coast Guard Commandant, who's been very busy in the past few days, Admiral Ronnie Gavan, fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today I leave for Washington, D.C. to attend the first Philippine-U.S.-Japan Trilateral Summit. It is a historic meeting, and meeting with U.S. President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio, and it is aimed at advancing trilateral cooperation between our three countries, which have long enjoyed warm and friendly relations and robust cooperation. This visit builds upon my previous meeting with Prime Minister Kishida and U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris last September in Jakarta. This was actually what they called in diplomatic circles a pull-aside, where during the farewell dinner of ASEAN, because it was the last summit that Indonesia was chairing, we had a pull-aside and we talked quite comprehensively about the idea of having this trilateral agreement. This was also the follow-up to this was held with our foreign ministers and our national security advisors last year. During this summit, I will underscore the importance of enhancing our continued economic cooperation with a view of promoting economic resilience and, of course, security. I intend to explore ways of advancing cooperation, especially in the areas of critical infrastructure, semiconductors, digitalization, and cybersecurity, critical minerals, renewable energy, as well as defense and maritime cooperation. It is my intention also to exchange views with my U.S. and Japanese counterparts on various regional security issues of mutual concern, while continuing to reiterate the importance of upholding the rule of law and preserving the rules-based international order in the Indo-Pacific region. On the margins of the summit, I will also have a bilateral meeting with U.S. President Biden, just kabilang dalawa. At I think he's also going to have that bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Kishida, where we will continue our discussions on strengthening further our alliance between our two countries, and also to meet with U.S. business leaders to invite them once again to invest in the Philippines. I look forward to moving the discussion to a progressive discussion, so that what our intention really is to strengthen the partnerships between our three countries, between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. It is not. It is mainly an agreement to strengthen the cooperation on the economic front. Of course, security and defense is going to be part of that discussion, but nonetheless, I think I can assure everyone that that is not the main intent of this trilateral agreement. The main intent of this trilateral agreement is for us to be able to continue to flourish, to be able to help one another, and of course, to keep the South China Sea as a freedom, to keep the peace in the South China Sea and the freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. To that end, this is the details of that are what we are going to be discussing very, very soon. And I hope to come back with some good results in the next few days. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
Panahon na ng pagbabago, dahil sa ito ay kinakailangan